To make a Christmas wish for a young girl come true, Santa Claus pushes a lady off a cliff. Let me bring you up to speed. This movie starts by setting the scene. We have a rich girl. She's the main character. Her name is Sierra, and her dad is completely loaded. He wants her to take a job at his company so she can be rich as well, but she doesn't want that. The job part, that is. She does want to be rich still.
Like your father, you don't want the job.
He flew me all the way up here in his private jet for Christmas. I don't want to hurt his feelings.
She has like a million people waiting on her. Why throw a job into the mix?
The spoiled daughter of Beauregard Belmont, the hotel magnate.
Yeah, it's totally normal to have someone feed you. We find out Sierra's dating this super obnoxious guy named Tad, and instead of having her take over her family's ski resort, Tad's idea for her is to get more followers on social media.
Tad's an influencer. Millions of people follow him.
So far, so good. Then this guy named Jake enters the picture. He is stalking Sierra's rich dad and goes and finds him on the ski resort.
I'm Jake Russell. I own the
North Star Lodge. My secretary mentioned you called 15 times.
This is the first time we see the amazing CGI in this film. With high-budget films, the CGI is really, really good. I'm guessing this was not a high-budget film. At least now I know I can get a job as an editor at Netflix. We find out this handsome single guy named Jake is trying to get an investment from Sierra's rich dad. By the way, her dad's name is Mr. Belmont. See, the strapping young man has his own ski lodge, but he needs money to keep it open. Also, what kind of ski resort does Mr. Belmont have? It's like Santa's workshop mixed with a locker room mixed with a Macy's?
Sure. 2, please.
Of course, Mr. Belmont.
But I have the numbers here for coffee.
Mr. Belmont won't give Jake the investment, but he does say anything he wants is on the house.
There you go, on the house. And anything else you may need today.
I would be taking everything. Mr. Beauregard said this one's on the house. As the storyline progresses, they have to make sure that you know Sierra Belmont is rich. And apparently walking on your phone and talking makes you look rich. Sierra's walking through the lodge of the ski resort, and Jake is coming around the corner. He's mad because Mr. Belmont didn't give him an investment, so he smashes into Sierra, Mr. Belmont's daughter. Then we find out Mr. Belmont's first name is Beauregard, and I'm guessing the writers for this movie were trying to think of the richest sounding name they possibly could.
I think it's time you call him Beauregard.
And Beauregard Belmont is the richest name I have ever heard. Turns out Jake, this handsome, single, nice, down-to-earth guy, is also a single dad.
Where are you guys going?
Dad, the Christmas wish tree, remember?
So let's lay out our characters. Sierra, a rich hotel heiress, and her no-good boyfriend, Tad.
So, Ted.
It's Tad, Daddy.
And this amazing, gorgeous, and single dad named Jake. Got it. I wonder what will happen. Jake really needs the money for a ski resort, the North Star Lodge. Otherwise, they're gonna have to shut down because they ain't got no money.
Belmont was literally the last resort.
Too bad Jake doesn't know any rich single hotel heiresses his age. Jake doesn't get the investment, so he goes back to the North Star Lodge, his lodge, and he goes and looked at this creepy doll he has in his desk.
Get you set up in your new office?
About the job.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that
I would rather keep spending your money without having to actually work.
I just don't want to disappoint you.
I don't think you could do that, honey.
I'm way past disappointed. Why does every single Christmas movie have to have a snow globe?
I haven't seen this in a while.
Why can't it be like a rack of ribs or something?
I haven't
seen this in a while. Back to Sierra and Tad. They're about to go snowmobiling, and I'm realizing there's acting, and then there's just saying words, and so far everybody in this movie has fallen into that second category.
I thought we were doing the photo shoot here.
Yeah, I've reserved a private gondola.
On the way up to the beautiful mountains to go snowmobiling, Sierra and Tad are rocking out, and I feel like I've seen her sing this song before.
What a bright time! I'll be in very good hands. I'll be with Tad.
She was in fact not in very good hands with Tad because he pushes her off a mountain. But he makes sure to get his engagement ring back first.
I'm slipping!
Oh no! This is where the movie gets really good. Jake's daughter makes a wish to Santa that her dad will find a wife.
There. I wish...
Don't tell me.
And so Santa goes to work and pushes Sierra off the cliff to set in motion this girl's dad getting a girlfriend.
Looks like the weather's changing.
So Sierra falls off the mountain and Tad also falls off the mountain, and they have the most dramatic tumbles I've ever seen. Luckily, Jake, you remember Jake, the handsome single dad looking for a wife? Well, he happens to be at the exact spot where Sierra lands after she eats it off the cliff.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hang tight, guys.
Jake takes her to the hospital. She's getting amnesia, can't remember her name or where she's from or that she's rich or anything.
I have a place. I mean, the lodge. I mean, we have some cancellations. She could stay with us.
And you are?
So Jake decides to take her back to his lodge as ransom. I mean, to look after her until her dad invests in his lodge. This is where I realized the plot of this movie is just overboard, but with the ski resort. At least in this movie, Jake is actually nice to her and trying to help her. She doesn't remember who she is, but she's rich and she does remember tacky stuff when she sees it. Where am I? She's spending time at Jake's lodge and getting to know him and his daughter and his mom. And they seem to be getting along pretty well. You don't think they could fall in love, do you?
Hey, how are you feeling?
Do you know me?
We met on the sleigh ride.
But you were unconscious the whole time.
What? She was unconscious, so no, you don't know each other. You didn't meet her. You looked at her when she wasn't moving.
Hey, everybody. This is
My soon-to-be mom. Oh wait, we haven't gotten to that point in the movie yet? Hold on, let's back up. And they don't even know her real name is Sierra because she has amnesia. We know she has amnesia because she had a bandage around her head at the hospital.
I know who I am. My name is...
They decided to name her Sarah, like a pet.
Oh, Sarah.
We're trying it out.
Also, speaking of the great editing, this is clearly two different scenes
We just ran out of pumpkin pancakes, but if you'd like, I could make you some eggs.
that they filmed at different times and just put together.
We just ran out of pumpkin pancakes, but if you'd like, I can make you some eggs.
After spending more time together, Jake's like, oh crap, I like this girl.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And then Santa shows back up and is like, you better make this work after I pushed her off a cliff for you.
In this stall for a friend, so if you see anything else that you'd like.
And there's another snow globe.
Look at this.
Why are snow globes so integral to every Christmas movie? To continue the Christmas fun, Jake takes her skiing. If there's something you should do with somebody that has a concussion, it's strap them to skis and push them down a slippery hill. And then there's this random scene of this couple checking out, and I think I figured out why Jake's lodge is having money problems. He hands this couple their bill as they're checking out, and they hand him a piece of metal.
Nice. Here you go. This is the bill. Y'all be safe.
Thanks again.
I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure he should be asking for money. See, this family is smart because while Jake is trying to get her to fall in love with him, he also has his daughter in the picture getting attached to her, and apparently his mom lives at the ski resort too, and is also guilt-tripping her.
This might be our last Christmas at North Star Lodge.
If only we knew a rich hotel heiress from the ski business that could help us out. Sierra, or Sarah, or whatever they're calling her now, puts on a dress and stands at the top of the stairs, and turns out she's hot.
wow. Sarah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I think Jake def likes her now, but he doesn't even know her real name. Then again, she doesn't know her own real name either, so I think it's fair game, right? Side note, I watched this movie once all the way through, and then several times I skimmed through it to write this video. Granted, I might not have paid attention 100% each time. I have no idea who Alejandro is.
Alejandro bought it for me.
To try to save the North Star Lodge, Jake throws a fundraiser so people can give him donations.
I love you, Jake.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
Because if there's one thing a business should rely on, it's not sales, but donations from people who feel bad for you. To this fundraiser where Tad and Beauregard finally find her and show up and tell her real name is Sarah,
Dad.
Yes. Yes, honey.
and Jake has to stand there and act like he didn't plan this whole thing. I had no idea your dad was rich and was a ski resort expert and could save my lodge, and I brought you to my lodge to make you fall in love with me so I could get that money. That's so weird.
That's my name.
This is where she remembers she's loaded and then pieces out of Jake's dumpy lodge and goes back to her ski castle with hand-fed caviar and unlimited waiters.
Met you before. Last week. Mr. Russell.
Yeah, Jake.
And this is what happens when you don't give me money for my lodge. So I'm gonna ask you again, do you want to invest or not? It's a few days later and Sierra's back at her own ski palace, but something's just not quite right. She can make her own bed now, something she could never do before.
Helping the housekeepers out a bit.
Also, she can't stop thinking about Jake. We flash over to Jake and his daughter, and there's the snow globe again, and this is where Jake's daughter comes clean and says she made a wish that her dad would find love.
You gave your wish up for me.
I wish for you to find someone to love.
And Jake is like, wow, you made a wish that Santa would push someone off a cliff for me? That's so sweet. And then Jake realizes that he really does like her, but he has to hurry because the movie's almost over. So Jake's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go tell Sierra that I love her. And he runs out to go get on his snowmobile, but it won't start. And apparently there's no cars in this world.
Maybe not.
Luckily, there's just this brand new sleigh sitting there that he can take.
Whoa! What is this doing here?
Where did they come from?
I don't know.
Maybe he should question where this super expensive brand new piece of equipment came from, since, you know, he doesn't own it. Whatever, it's all for love. Right as he leaves to go find Sierra, his lodge, the North Star, gets super busy.
Merry Christmas, North Star Lodge. Oh, yes. For how many?
And I'm starting to think maybe he's the problem. When he's there, they can't get any business. And then the second he leaves, a ton of people show up and want rooms. And since he's not there, his daughter, who's like 10, and his mother have to do all the work for him. Jake is going to find Sierra and finally finds her, and unlike any other romantic Christmas movie, Sierra had just broken up with Tad, so it's the perfect timing. Best of all, Mr. Belmont now wants to invest in the North Star Lodge.
My dad did also mention investing in the North Star.
But Sierra's manipulating the situation and says he won't get any of the money unless he spends Christmas with her.
But I didn't think you'd be interested.
Right.
I did say I would try to convince you over the holidays. That is, if you wouldn't mind spending them with me.
Checkmate. And like the classic saying goes, there's no better way to start a relationship than through blackmail. The movie ends on a high note. Jake and Sierra together, they kiss, the family's there, and so is Santa.
There they are.
Sierra!
Moral of the story, if you want a girl to like you, ask Santa to push her off a cliff.